Hello there, I'm Harvey Retro and welcome to the first Retro Saturday Rewind, TV, toy and music nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. Today I'm counting down my top 10 80s cartoon themes, and let me tell you, this was not easy. The 80s had some absolute corkers and some sound even better now than they did back then. So it was pretty tough to rank these musical masterpieces. But here it is, number 10. Denver the Last Dinosaur. This French-American show first aired in the US in 1988 and repeated until 1990 and was about a dinosaur that hatched from a petrified egg in the modern times and was befriended by a group of teenagers. The theme kicks off with mighty rock guitar chords and bounces into an extremely catchy chorus that you'll never forget. Number 9. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. First aired in 1989 and ran until 1990. The show featured established Disney chipmunk characters Chip and Dale and had them running a detective agency dealing with crimes often too small for the police to handle. The theme by Mark Mueller is a real fun one because the key constantly keeps shifting up throughout the sections of the song. So if you're singing along, you can end up screeching the last chorus. Chip, 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 Dale! Number 8.
Defenders of the Earth. Defenders. Out of the sky.
Defenders of the Earth. First aired in 1986 until 1987 and featured characters from 3 comic strips: Flash Gordon, The Phantom, and Mandrake the Magician. The theme by Rob Walsh, Tony Pastor with lyrics by Stan Lee features what I call the 80s Angry Man voice.
Calling all boys for army gear.
This is a voice that stays consistently macho fierce for long periods, most commonly found in boys' toy commercials.
His strength is a legend, his skills conquer all.
The theme basically just is a description of each character and their skills, but it's all about the delivery. The singer's a legend, his skills conquer all.
Proving their worth, 4 become 8, defending the earth. Defenders of the earth.
Number 7.
My name's James.
James the Cat. This British animation first aired in 1984 for one series and was revived for the programming block Milkshake in 1998. In the show, a fat, overprivileged cat is forced to live among the wild animals when his owners move house and leave him behind. What I really love about this theme is how British it is and how the vocals fit with the arrogance of the character.
I've had fame, money, and all that.
The lyrics tell us he had fame and now he's fat, and that immediately makes me picture him as a rock star on a downward spiral.
A fake hero.
Unfortunately, he was just spoiled rotten by his rich owners, and now he has some growing up to do in the real world. Number 6. The Raggy Dolls. This British cartoon aired from 1986 to 1994 and was about a group of imperfect dolls that were thrown in the factory reject bin and came to life. The theme by Neil Innes is so much fun because it builds throughout to a catchy chorus that has some wonderful alternating male and female vocals.
It's the Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me.
The show is designed to encourage positivity towards people with disabilities, and that's summarised perfectly in the lyrics of the theme.
So if you got a bump on your nose or lumps on your toes, do not despair. Be like the Raggy Dolls and say I just don't care.
Number 5. Inspector Gadget. The show ran from 1983 to 1986 and was about a high-tech cyborg police inspector that had all the tools but none of the brains. Every case was secretly sold by his niece Penny and her dog Brain. The theme by Shuki Levy, who also wrote themes for Power Rangers and Digimon, was based on the classic Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg. What I really love about this is the way the sound effects from the actions on screen perfectly act as percussion for the theme. And it has enough variety in the segments to keep it really fun and interesting throughout. Number 4. MASC, an acronym for Mobile Armoured Strike Command, aired from 1985 to 86 and was based on the vehicles and action figures produced by Kenner. The show was about a special task force that operated transforming armoured vehicles in an ongoing battle with the criminal organisation Venom, vicious, evil network of mayhem. The fact that they would call themselves that is hilarious. This is actually another one by Shuki Levy, but with Haim Saban this time. It's definitely one of the best hair metal sounding cartoon themes of the 80s. It has a solid rock vocal by Larry Leon, and some superb vocoder too. The aesthetic of this show and its theme is everything that inspired the synthwave genre many of us love today, which is probably why it holds up so well and why I love it so much. Number 3. This show made its debut in 1985 and is held in high regard by many 80s kids. When you ask someone to name an 80s cartoon, many would probably say Thundercats. This show was about a group of cat-like humanoid aliens who were always battling the demonic sorcerer Mumra and his mutants who wanted the source of the Thundercats' power, the Eye of Thundera. The theme by Bernard Hoffer has got an incredible groove to it. The keyboard rhythm has a galloping feel, and there's some excellent guitar shredding fills in between the catchy vocals. It is incredible. Number 2. Countducular. This British show aired from 1988 to 1993 and was about an egotistical vegetarian vampire duck, and basically that's the best Dracula parody ever in my opinion. For me, the fact that it's pretty much a rip-off of Michael Jackson's Thriller is absolutely amazing. I always loved the fusion of horror and pop music, and it works so well. I love the way it starts with the narration.
Countducular, home for many centuries to a dreadful dynasty.
Funnily enough, Vincent Price, who did the Thriller narration, was horrified that it was parodied, and would have happily done it himself, but wasn't even approached. The narration section builds and builds until you hear like a doom gong. And the pop song element kicks in.
In the Vampire Hall of Fame, yeah, there's not a vampire than the other.
I particularly like the layered low vocal of Ducular on the chorus, accompanied by pitch-bending synth. To me, these elements combined remind me of Prince and Marilyn Manson.
Would that be cool?
All these elements are everything I love. So, we've reached the top, and this is my number 1. The Raccoons! This Canadian cartoon aired from 1985 to 1992. The show was about a trio of raccoons, Bert, Ralph and Melissa, and involved them battling with the greedy aardvark industrialist Cyril Sneer, who was always trying to destroy the forest to make money. I almost didn't consider this for my list because the title theme is not that memorable at all.
That is, until Bert Raccoon wakes up.
But Run With Us, the ending theme, however, is not only one of the best cartoon themes, it's also one of the best 80s songs in general. The original version was written by series creator Kevin Gills, John Stroll and Steve Lunt in 1985, but many remember this version, the cover by Lisa Lougheed. From 1987, which was featured from the second series onwards. The original version was even incorrectly listed as a remix on the UK pressings of the single. That's how overshadowed it was. This kind of reminds me of the time when I believed Aled Jones sang Walking in the Air from The Snowman from 1982. But the 1982 version of the song was Peter Orty. Jones stepped in for the 1985 single version because Orty's voice had broken by then. I would have loved to hear the low teenage Orty version though. Imagine the angst. We're walking in the air, but I don't care. Anyway, to summarise, the ending theme Run With Us from the Raccoons claims a top spot because it is simply a brilliant song. I'd even say it's too good for TV. We're into like movie soundtrack level of quality with this one, which is certainly interesting and makes it stand out for me over everything else. So that is it, my top 10 80s cartoon theme songs. Let's go through a couple of honourable mentions before closing up. When reaching out on social media, a lot of people mentioned Ulysses 31. Which is a brilliant choice, but I never actually watched that at all back in the day for some reason, so it wasn't even on my radar. Brave Star, DuckTales. They're all great choices, but I found some of these haven't held up too well. Or the show was great, but the theme wasn't the best. I'd love to hear more from you though. What are your favourites? Let us know in the comments, and even post your own top 10 in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Right, thanks for watching guys. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe. See you next time on Enigmatic Productions.